Yes.
I was reading this morning that there's a possibility of debates to be planned between Manchin, Racy, also involving yourself and the Constitution Party candidate. Just for this event, would you participate in those debates, and do you foresee those debates happening with all of the candidates on the ballot?
Well, I have long believed in debates. They're not for those who are running for office. They're for the people. They're for the voter. They're for the citizen. Debates are about a confluence of ideas coming together and being presented before the public so that they may make up their own minds as to what direction they want to go in the future. I have fought and sued and begged, frankly, to be in the debates. I know that I was contacted by a reporter yesterday telling me much of what you just said, that both the two major parties were all for my being included. Well, I've also had personal assurances from them that, that they wanted me included. But the fact of the matter is, what debate will that be, and how will it be brought to the public in this state? And I would guess that it probably will be the West Virginia Broadcasters Association, who has kept me out of debates before, who I've had to sue to get into their debate, which they classify as a news event. But it's not news, so therefore they can choose who they want to include. Well, I do know that one of the people who is involved in this, the Republican candidate, owns the statewide news service that the radio service that the debate will go out on and be broadcast on. And I'm sure that he is also a powerful influence on their board of directors. So hopefully he will exert that, and they'll open the door. As far as the governor is concerned, the governor and Mr. Racy have the ability to simply say they will not participate in a debate that is not open to all the balloted candidates. And any debate, like any poll that you read about in the paper, that does not include everyone who is a duly and legally balloted candidate or nominee, is not a scientific poll, and it is not an open debate.
May I point out also that as a former teacher of constitutional law, it would be a violation of the First Amendment, the Freedom of Speech Clause, and the First Amendment of the Constitution to exclude you from that debate. And I think that is a constitutional issue that could go all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court. And I think it's an issue that would be very hard for the Charleston Gazette, for example, to dodge because of its strong belief in freedom of speech.
I challenge every West Virginian to insist that they hear from every candidate who is on the ballot, legally and frankly, morally. They have an obligation as stewards of our democracy and our republic to do so. So I welcome debate. Yes?
What are your plans for raising funds to get your message across?
Well, I'm relying on the people of West Virginia.
What was her question?
Her question was, how do I intend to raise funds for this race? And I rely on the people of West Virginia. As I said, this is going to be a ground fight. This is true grassroots. And if people are going to take their state back and their nation back, if people are going to be a part of their government as it was designed to function, then they have to get involved. So the people, hopefully, will either send money, send good old Appalachian elbow grease, or they'll use their own to go out and make signs in their yard or stick styrofoam cups in their chain link fence to spell out, vote Jesse.
You get a check for $1,000 from Ken Hechler also, start things off.
Thank you very much. I also have some other plans, but I'd rather not discuss those right now, but until they're finalized. But I will certainly keep you abreast as to what comes up, and I will be holding future press conferences on a number of issues that are going to be of great import to the state of West Virginia and its citizens. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
You was talking about the, Mr. Racy owning the broadcasting thing. Does the Broadcasting Association recognize a third party in the state of West Virginia? And does any of the news media accept that?
Well, historically they've not been very open to third parties, and let's look at the reasons that could be why. For instance, third parties don't have a lot of money.
This is true.
And if you don't have a lot of money, then you can't buy a lot of advertisement.
This is true.
And if you can't buy a lot of advertisement, then you can't sustain the businesses that they operate. And so they have to editorially pick and choose who they're going to recognize. Instead of basing it on being the light, being the fourth estate, being the watchdogs of democracy, they tend to function more as businesses. And they're watching their bottom line. And since I'm the guy who often is sticking up for the people against big corporations, those corporations are the ones that provide the majority of their and the vast majority of their advertisement income. So this is a good opportunity, once again, to change business as usual. And it's going to be difficult, but there is such a thing as earned media. And with the help of every West Virginian and everyone who is concerned about the future of this state and of this nation, because the reality is only the citizens of West Virginia get the privilege of voting in this race. But this race is being watched by the nation and the world. And this is a special election. And because it is so special, there's going to be a lot more of that kind of involvement and scrutiny, and the people who are all over this country have an interest, because as a United States Senator, I represent them as well and their interests.